Hello everyone and welcome for a new oil painting video. In this episode we are going to talk about Standoil. So first of all, what is Standoil? Standoil is an oil painting product. It's a vehicle for oil painting similar to regular linseed oil, like your normal linseed oil, except that Standoil is very thick, very honey-like. And it's a partly polymerized oil. What does it mean? It means that, well, alright, so you know when we say that oil painting dries, well, it's technically not true. Oil doesn't dry, it polymerizes. Like two things happen. Like, you know, oil is full of long molecules. So some molecules can create bonds. So basically they attach to each other. And the more bonds in a row, the longer the chains. Basically, regular linseed oil is an oil in a liquid state. It means that the molecules in the oil have not formed too many bonds already. But in the case of Standoil, the linseed oil has been heated. It has sort of forced the molecules to start bonding, which means that they are creating longer chains. Your regular linseed oil, liquid linseed oil, has a longer way to go once you apply it on your canvas to be dry, and your Standoil is already halfway there in terms of making bonds, because these bonds create the solidity of the painting. There's two steps actually. The first step is creating bonds between molecules, and the second is cross-linking, which is that long chains of molecules bond with each other, which makes oil paint very, very solid and very and actually impossible to remove over time. You can't make an oil paint wet again, which means that you can restore however you want. You will not remove the paint or the oil. It will just you can remove an entire solid chunk of it, but you will not make it wet again. Something similar is sun-thickened linseed oil. You can do it yourself. You take some linseed oil and you just let it sit under the sun, and the heat of the sun is going to sort of start the reaction, and once you get a certain consistency, you can take it and use it for your paintings. Except that in the case of Standoil, the oil has been heated in the absence of air. I'm not going to get too technical about it, but like Standoil is a more reliable product if you want to use it, because like the reaction has been really controlled. So Standoil generally it's exactly the right consistency to be usable for a painting. Why would you use that? Well, because first point that's great about it is that it has a wonderful consistency, and it also yellows less over time. It makes very good mediums. They're less runny, and it's supposed to yellow less over time than linseed oil, which yellows quite a lot. Well, it can yellow a lot. How do you use that? Well, you can't use it pure. It has to be used in a medium. That's the main purpose of Standoil, is to create your own mediums. You still need some regular liquid oil, because this is what's going to bring a lot more fluidity, and this is going to give some body to the paint, but it's not fluid enough. Like, you can't just put your brush in it and expect it to behave like oil, because it's not gonna spread really well. It's going to be just like, basically picture putting your brush in honey and think about painting like that. It's not gonna be very pleasant. It has to be diluted always with some kind of solvent. It can be diluted with mineral spirits, turpentine. All these solvents will dilute it and just take the best out of it, which is the molecules in it, and the consistency and the fluidity is going to be brought by the solvent. So you have to dilute it, and you have to dilute it, I would say, at least 50%. If you have more than 50% Standoil in one of your mediums, Well, if you need more than 50% oil in one of your homemade mediums, you might want to use half Standoil and half regular oil, because it's going to make things very sticky at some point, and really you don't want that, because it can really mess up your painting process. A good medium recipe, very simple, is like 1/3 Standoil and 2/3 mineral spirits, and then as you move on you can add more Standoil. That's a wonderful medium, like very simple, but as I said, sometimes things that are very simple are also really good. Alright, that's it for this video. If you want to know more about all the oil painting techniques, the material and stuff, you can check out my course, which is like specifically on these topics, and you're gonna learn all the alternatives, all the other options that you have. If you want to use linseed oil, you have many other options. If you want to create your own mediums, all sorts of things that are detailed in my course. So if you are interested, you can check it out. As always, thank you for watching this video. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Until then, have fun painting.